Hello, listeners, and welcome to the Geeks by Gaslight Podcast, the show you need to listen to for your monthly insight to the many wide worlds of geek culture. I'm your quarantined host, Carroll, and joining me are two guests, regulars on the show. You know him, you love him, Mr. Dre Best.
Hi.
And back from the depths of hell, it's Guthrie Schooner.
What's up? It's actually kind of fitting because I beat Doom 2016 yesterday.
Oh, but based. It's been a while since I played that game. I don't know if I said this on the podcast before, but I got it. I got the game at the exact same time that Overwatch came out and became the world's biggest thing.
Oh, Lamau.
Yeah, and so I just never played Doom until I beat it last year or so.
I think I also just beat it. Maybe 3 months or so ago.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So, all right, cards on the table. Let's address the elephant in the room. The world's on fire.
Bro, I hope nothing's in this fucking room. All elephants better steer clear of me. I've been locked in this room for 2 weeks now. Is it 2 weeks?
Dude, that elephant better be staying 6 feet away, dude.
Exactly.
Bro, for real.
Show some distance from that elephant. So yeah, Budweiser disease has ravaged the planet. It's not just from everyone on the GBG crew. Stay safe, follow the CDC guidelines, and watch out. But more importantly than any of that, it affects our precious video games.
It's messed up all of my entertainment.
It's bad. So many things have been canceled in one form or another. So yeah, racist tweets from 2014 surfaced for E3, and now it's being canceled. Also coronavirus, but
GDC accidentally liked a tweet from someone who it has never heard of and was also canceled.
Oh boy. Yeah, so just a ton of things have been canceled due to the fact that it would require a large gathering of people, which isn't really an option right now. So
WrestleMania. Wait.
Oh my God, do not get me started. This isn't a wrestling show, so I'm not going to talk about WrestleMania, but fuck this.
WrestleMania is going ahead just without a crowd.
I've seen clips. It's amazing.
Or it being WrestleMania.
That's not as bad as the UFC, which owner Dana White has been going a little fucking insane.
No, I saw one of their big guys is stuck in fucking that Russian dude. He's stuck in Russia, so he can't go to the big main event fight. But they're just gonna have the show anyway.
No, he is. He's been somehow traveling around the world. I think he.
No, Khabib. I saw it on Twitter. He can't go to the thing.
No, they figured that out. Now, UFC is stubbornly refusing to cancel the show. Dana White keeps going. We don't need to shut anything down. We'll just have people here. We'll have less people here. And the fight's going to happen somewhere. We're going to find somewhere to put it.
I can't wait for UFC to be happening in the 7-Eleven parking lot.
Please, it'd be a better fight if it was, I would pay. You know what? I would pay to see UFC fighters versus wrestling deathmatch icons in a legit street fight.
Okay.
Just with one of them has a fucking tire iron or a staple gun or some shit.
It's an even worse idea to hold a UFC show than a wrestling one. Because if you're a UFC guy, those guys dehydrate themselves before the fight.
Yeah.
And their immune systems are super shitty.
Yep.
And then they beat the shit out of each other. Like,
Yeah.
that's gonna help them if the other guy accidentally coughs on him during the fight and has the Rona.
Yeah.
Oh god.
We're also a bunch of movies. Movies are getting delayed.
Mulan got delayed.
Mulan got delayed. I mean, the first big one that got pitched back was Bond.
Bond.
Oh yeah, the new James Bond.
Yeah.
I'm still amazed at the fact that they looked at Goldfinger, which is already too long, and we're like, you know what? We're gonna make a movie that's 40 minutes longer. Like, that's what we need out of a Bond movie.
My God.
2 hours and 40 something minutes.
It's the end game of Bond.
Goldfinger was too long at 2 hours and 1 minute.
Oh, did you see this shit? Okay, so there was a so you know how do you remember that Trolls movie, like the Troll Doll movie that came out a few years ago?
Yes.
The animated one, and how there's like a sequel that was like going to be like rock and roll themed, like.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was like Troll 2 World Tour or whatever, and it was like so basically, the studio behind that decided to pull the movie and just put it out on like
Streaming
VOD
platforms.
and like VOD and digital, you know.
So it's like on Vudu and shit now.
I think so. And so
They should put it on Tubi TV right next to Cube 3 Hypercube.
Okay, but the reason I bring this up is because because like the relationship between theater chains and movie studios has never really been that good.
Yeah.
They're always kind of at each other's throats. But the reason I bring this up is because like the head of like the movie theaters union or whatever basically sent a death threat to the studios over this.
What?
They were like, it was like, we will not forget this. It was like the most like, it was like the hardest shit you've ever seen. It was like a straight up threat.
Over
Troll 2.
Trolls in the Hood.
Trolls 2 not being pulled at the last minute and going straight to DVD.
Yeah,
I can't wait for Regal Entertainment Group to like check if your ticket is for like one of the is for a DreamWorks film, and then they charge you 3 times the price for popcorn if you go to it.
Please.
Like you buy popcorn and they're like, "Oh, you're watching a DreamWorks movie." Well, you see, because they pulled Trolls 2, you're gonna have to pay $20 for this small bucket of popcorn.
You're in theater 12 in the parking lot.
That's already what it costs. It already costs $20 for a small bucket of popcorn.
Yeah, but now they're gonna count. Now they're gonna point it out like it's special, and then everyone's gonna be like, "Man, freaking DreamWorks ruined it for the rest of us."
Oh god. So yeah, what else got canceled? A ton of shit.
So Newt and Mulan got delayed. There was, and by the way, I guess those
There are like some conventions that got delayed. I know,
yeah,
or straight up canceled.
Yeah, I'm sure Comic-Con's not going to go ahead. So our Comic-Con coverage is probably going to be very minimal.
Yeah, which is a shame because I had tickets again this year, but I'm hoping they at least refund us and keep our placement next year. But it's frustrating.
Yeah.
I was also planning on going to WonderCon, but that's obviously not happening.
Most things are either canceled or holding off, waiting until way too close to the show or whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
To announce it's being canceled. Yeah,
because I mean, the Black Widow movie's coming out in early May, I believe. And this probably isn't going to be. I'm very, very confident that this is not going to be over by then.
Yeah.
Even if it is like officially over, like they're like, okay, guys, go back to work or whatever. Which people are suggesting that there's going to be staggered lockdowns now until a vaccine for the virus is found. But it's like, even if that happens, a lot of people just straight up aren't going to go to the movies until this whole virus thing is taken care of.
Yeah.
It's like, I have a lot of, sick elderly relatives. I don't want to give them this because that'd straight up kill them,
Yeah.
Whew. So,
Although,
yeah.
then again, it is Black Widow.
Damn, you're right. It is Black Widow.
Hmm.
Maybe it's worth losing a family member or 3.
I can think of something I wouldn't mind losing. That's not true. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. Apologies to my relatives.
Oh, no, it's Black Widow, dude. Gotta get it. Let's go.
Yeah, it's Black Widow. It's Black Widow.
The only thing more important than Black Widow is arms.
Yes. Oh my god.
This is true.
Okay, so the Nintendo Direct mini came out. I mean, obviously, currently, this isn't one of our main topics, but it's like important to note. Animal Crossing just kind of came out, and probably couldn't have come out at a better time.
I have not had a game give me more stress in my life than this fucking animal game.
No,
I spent $60 on this animal game, right? And ever since I have, it's been a constant ball and chain on my life. I'm constantly thinking about it. Log in, talk to Nook, pick up the fossils. Also, shake the trees. If you don't, your town will suffer. It's a fucking hellish game for crazy people.
This is like when I bought my little sister a Tamagotchi and like the stress got to her.
I'm losing it over this fucking animal game, dude. Someone take it from me.
Epic.
Yeah, anyway, so it just came out. So then Nintendo kind of held a mini direct to be like, and by the way, here's the other stuff that's coming out soon to kind of tide you over before all of our big announcements, which I'm guessing were planned for E3.
I'm guessing we're planning for E3, or they probably had well, because the thing about it, like the Smash, because like this Sakurai gave an interview where he's like, yeah, development on games is gonna be hard because like if someone in the office gets it, like development is halted immediately. And
Mhm.
you know, we kind of
which is good because I'd rather have these people be healthy and doing good work than like programming with walking fucking pneumonia.
Easy for you to say. Give me my video games. No, yeah, that's just sort of the state of it is that you know, for safety reasons, entertainment's going to be a lot harder to come by. But
Thank God everyone spent the last 5 years buying every movie, anime, TV show, manga, etc. that they have never read or engaged with since buying it, right?
It's been pretty nice going through it.
Good lord. So yeah, the Nintendo Direct, they just showed some of the shit that that they've been, you know, showing over time. Like they did like a big bit on Animal Crossing. They made a very minor Smash announcement. That the next, they didn't say who it was, but the next DLC character is going to be from ARMS, which I find interesting because I really didn't think this was going to be a franchise.
Sure
it is, bro. It's going to be a whole. You know, they're going to announce ARMS 2 at E3. They're going to announce the ARMS platformer spin-off. They're going to have, you know how there's Mario Maker, there's going to be ARMS Maker.
ARMS
you make
toothpaste.
ARMS.
Super ARMS Galaxy 2.
Bro, I'd actually play that though.
Maybe. Although, you know, Super ARMS Sunshine would come out, and then everyone is going to be like, it develop a cult following, but at the time, it's going to be widely critically panned.
Well, you know, there's going to be like an ARMS like instead of like Donkey Kong being the secret boss for Punch Out, it's going to be Spring Man.
Oh, God.
That'd actually be pretty cool though.
Oh, can I get this? Just reminded me. Can I go on a slight tangent? So when I was in summer camp when I was a kid, there was these two counselors that were like old gamers, but like gave up when they like grew out of it. But they were like, nah, gaming is still good. So basically, these guys would talk all the time about the video games that they liked from their childhood. And I remember being like, because I was just like getting into like the internet at the time, so I had just like discovered Proton John's Superman 64 Let's Play, and so I'm like, holy shit, I now know what the worst video game of all time is. And so I remember like talking about it in the car. It was like, and he was like, And one of the counselors was like, "That's not the worst video game of all time. The worst video game of all time is Super Mario Sunshine. The worst video game of all time." I was like, "What? Why?" And he's just like, "Why would you clean? Just why? Why would you clean?" And that was awesome. And that was the end of conversation.
Why would
that's a very gamer thing to say. Like, why would you ever clean?
So good. I remember being like mad about it at the time because I was like, I liked that game. But then like thinking back on it, it's one of the funniest things ever.
It's like, well, damn, why would you clean?
Maybe not. But yeah. So the what were some of the other things that were talked about in the direct?
Xenoblade. We got a massive look at the Xenoblade Definitive Edition gameplay. We got a new trailer. That game looks weird. It looks okay. It looks great because it's Xenoblade, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But also,
says noted Xenoblade hater Jré Best.
What are you talking about? I like Xenoblade.
You always complain whenever anyone else talks about it, and it's funny.
I recommended it on this show.
Oh yeah.
It's just everyone on Xenoblade Twitter is a half human gremlin.
Maybe.
But
also, when we're talking to some of our friends on another server, we have the lovely game Can You Xenoblade It, where no matter whatever conversation topic is going on, it can somehow be turned to Xenoblade.
Like, yeah, that's just like what they do. It's like, you know, like the worst thing ever. It's like fine. Xenoblade's good. But I don't like like they're changing the style from the original game to like match more with 2. And that's like fine. It just weirds me out and I'm not used to it yet. So I'm reacting very poorly to it. Schultz has like a redesign that makes him look like he should be in Big Hero 6. It's a little weird.
I saw that tweet. It was really good.
Catherine's getting ported there.
There's like Borderlands on the Switch and stuff now.
Oh, Borderlands. Oh, XCOM 2 on the Switch.
Why is it called the XCOM 2 collection? What does that mean?
Because there's like a big expansion that they did that I assume that'll come with the base game.
Wouldn't that just be a Game of the Year or a complete edition? Why?
Well, it wasn't Game of the Year. I don't know.
Like nothing. I mean, it could be. All they need to do is release a Game of the Year version, and then suddenly it's a Game of the Year.
That is actually true.
Wait, is that what those are? I thought you had to actually win Game of the Year in order to get that.
No.
I mean, there's a billion Game of the Year editions, so you could win game. So you know, XCOM 2 could have won Game of the Year from tacticalrpgfanaticblog.com, and then they could make a Game of the Year edition.
I mean, like there were Game of the Year editions before there were any video game awards. So like,
that's awesome.
You know.
Oh God.
You were worked.
So now, I don't know. That's of all those. I remember they've given like the millionth teaser trailer for fucking Panzer Dragoon.
No,
well, it came out that direct.
Okay. Oh, it's finally out because I kept being like, wasn't this announced like 2 years ago?
Yeah, no, it came out that direct. They were like, "Hey, it's out now." And then the only other input I heard about it, other than "Wait, Panzer Dragoon is out now," is like some people are complaining that it's an hour long because rail shooters. That's just how long they are.
I don't know, but to me, Panzer Dragoon always sounded like a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
It like is.
It really sounds like one.
Mm-hmm. I think they were just going to call. They originally just were going to call it like something. What does Panzer mean in English? It's a
tank.
Yeah, it was actually just going to be called like Tank Dragon. But then they were like, that sucks.
It does.
Let's make it German.
Dragoon isn't even German. It's like French.
Isn't it? I thought it was German. Whatever. They just were like, let's make it into some different language. Let's not think of a different name.
Okay. Oh God. So ARM's character coming to Smash. Dre's got his fingers crossed for Twintel, and so do I, kind of.
Yep.
So yeah, that's about it for the direct. Anything
Wait.
else you guys want to talk about it?
There were two of the most important things announced at this direct.
Okay.
Were Elder Scrolls Blades coming to it.
Oh, thank God! I've been waiting.
Yeah, right? And then, no bullshit, no joke, fucking Burnout Paradise Remastered. What? Why is no one talking about this? This is the most important fucking thing. It's going to be the best game out on the Switch. Burnout Paradise fucking owns.
Yeah.
Dude, don't you want like tabletop classics top 45 or whatever?
I do, but I also want Burnout Paradise Remastered. That game has like one of the best soundtracks of all time. It's the best racing game. It is.
It is.
God, remember that? Do you remember that game that launched with the Switch that was just like F-Zero but not?
Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
What was it called?
I forget.
Anyway, they should put like a pilot like that that pilot in Smash, and he's just like another Captain Falcon. It'd be awesome, but it's not. It's just a different series.
That's okay. I actually fully support that. First indie rep, that guy.
Not a character.
Forget Cave Story. Forget Cave Story. Forget Undertale. Forget Spelunky. It's gonna be that guy from the F-Zero knockoff because Nintendo won't make F-Zero games anymore.
I guess. Oh God. I guess Captain Falcon was barely a character when he got in Smash 2, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's fair game. Okay. Moving on to the extra funny. I mean, it's not funny. It's fucked up, but at the same time, I laughed.
It's hilarious, but like darkly.
Yeah, it's a dark comedy. So basically, after a bunch of cities and states got official lockdown orders, you know, when you get to lockdown order, all non-essential businesses have to close. So, you know, food places stay open, homeless shelters,
pharmacies, homeless shelters, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, like pretty much everything else that's just like sort of like non-essential to life has to kind of shut down.
Not even shut down. They just have to close their storefronts. Like my comic store is still active, but they only do curbside delivery.
Yeah. So the geniuses at GameStop, the GameStop corporate, who of course you don't associate with anyone. The geniuses at GameStop corporate are like, yeah, but you know what's truly essential to life? You know what's more important than food or medicine or shelter? Video games.
Yes!
So they put out a public statement to their employees being like, when the cops show up, don't close the storefronts because we provide an essential service.
And they like actually challenged like whole states and cities to be like, yeah, sue us. We're staying open. We're an essential business. People really need to go to GameStop to get ripped off for used DS games and Think Geek and Loot Crate leftovers.
Yep.
Oh my God. I haven't told the story on the podcast, but when I got my Switch, I went to try and trade in my Wii U, to just to upgrade to get the new one, and do you know how I told Jré, I don't know if told you, Guthrie, how much money they tried to give me for it?
How much? Let me guess. $25.
Lower.
5.
Slightly higher.
10.
Lower. 8. They tried to give me $8.
Bro.
They tried to give me $8 because, like, originally it said they would give, on the website it said they would give me $40. So, like, that's good. That's like not good, but it's fine. So I went in and they're like, actually, we would have to refurbish it. So that's actually it's $20. Oh, your cord's damaged. You have to pay for that. So that's $12.
Bro.
And you know the thing is, they didn't even see that the other cord was damaged, so they were like, maybe that would have cost another $12, so I would have had to pay them money to take it.
Bro.
Fuck GameStop.
But you see, that's an essential service, you know?
It is an essential service. It is an essential service. Getting bullied by GameStop reps because you didn't want to pre-order is an essential service.
Man,
Yes.
I haven't.
Now they're all just working at my Safeway. Now they're bullying me for not pre-ordering the chuck steak that came in this morning because I didn't log in at 8 a.m.
It's weird. It's so weird walking into GameStops.
Yeah, it doesn't. It feels like a fucking. It feels like a time machine.
You're
The only GameStop in my town straight up closed.
Damn.
Yeah, no, I do not think there's another GameStop in Santa Cruz. There was one by my local Safeway, and they closed like a year ago.
Dicks out, I go.
I never even cared because there's a local game store that has better prices and like better prices for used stuff. So
yeah, that's the shit. That's the shit. You need to fucking mom and pop game shops need to be like the standard.
Yeah, they're cool. They're badass.
Fuck.
No. The only shame about GameStop is Ronnie used to go there all the time to buy Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
That's awesome.
Because they sold the most out of anywhere in Santa Cruz.
That's fucked up. Because I've seen GameStop Yu-Gi-Oh cards. They're all bad. Like, it's not a good place to buy them.
He got some good ones, but definitely wasn't like. I mean, I'm not a Yu-Gi-Oh expert, but
No,
it was kind of depressing walking to that GameStop though, because you could tell we were like one of the like 2 customers that day.
Oh god. Yeah. So, I remember, because I had a friend, this girl I went to school with. She was really cool. She worked at GameStop for a minute, and I remember being like, I didn't want to ask, like, do you guys like pushing the pre-order thing? Does that make you die inside too? Because like it makes us hate it. I wonder if it's like they can't enjoy doing that, right?
From what I understand, they despise it, but it's like the same deal as like the Walgreens or like Safeway people asking if you want to sign up with their membership thing, where it's like it becomes second nature and they don't even think about it. Yeah. You could say, "Hi, by the way, I'd like to sign up for a GameStop membership," and they'd be like, "Have you considered becoming a GameStop rewards member?"
And it's like if you don't do it, like they have to, like your manager will like report you for not doing it, and you could like lose out on promotions and stuff.
Shit sucks.
Yeah.
But Reggie works there, so hopefully it'll get better. It won't.
Wholesome 100.
Okay. That's just kind of it for the main stories.
The Rona kind of killed all the news.
Yeah. It killed the news and made the news. So, moving on to something that's only slightly more devastating than coronavirus. The fiery takes of one Mr. Guthrie Schooner.
Hi.
Guthrie's hot takes are coming up right now.
Welcome to GBG Hot Takes, starring your host Guthrie, coming to you live from not the recording room because they locked me out because of the virus. I'm like not allowed up on the school campus right now. It kind of sucks. And I'm just walking around like those people who do the selfie vlogs, but like recording into my phone. And yeah, I'm just outside, and honestly, it's just so peaceful out here. I don't have any hot takes. Sun's bright, kind of hurts my eyes. Birds are chirping. A car just drove by. It's like, this is nature, you know? I don't even feel mad. I feel good. Dandelions and stuff. Yeah, I can't actually think of any jokes this time. Hot take. Hot take. Everyone should go outside. Okay, that's it.
And we're back. Thanks, Guthrie.
You're welcome.
Master of disaster, Guthrie Schooner. Okay. So moving on to that, from that to our favorite segment, recommendations. Dre Best, why don't you start us off? Hit us with that good shit.
So I played this game really well timed. So you might have heard that Neir Replicant is getting a remaster. It just got announced 2 days from recording. So Neir Replicant is the original version of Neir. The one that got released here was an alternate version starring a different character. That though both are canon. I just got done playing Neir Automata, which is a sequel to both these games. And I've been I've been interested in Neir Automata for about when did it come out? 2007? 2017?
Yeah, that was a 2017 game.
Yeah, I've been interested since basically around then because I'm a big Platinum Games guy. When it came out, I didn't know the mountains of lore and other connections it has to a bunch of old fucking PS2 games. But I quickly learned about it. Neir Automata is a fucking bizarre game.
It really is. I only beat the first route of Neir Automata, but it's strange.
Yeah, Carroll watched me stream most of it.
I did.
So the way Neir Automata works in most Yoko Taro games is it's split up into multiple routes. So you play the game, and you reach the credits, and then you load up your save again, and then you play the game again, and shit's different. Neir has 3 different main routes. Each starring like a different character. 2B, the one you've seen, 2A or 9S, the one you've heard of, and A2, the one you haven't seen or heard of. And I usually like to give like a plot summary, but I don't know where to start with this one. The most basic version I can give is you're 2B. You're an android working for a organization called Yorha, and the whole the world is post apocalypse. So the apocalypse has happened and shit started to come back, but it's like still like very recognizably an apocalypse. The reason for this apocalypse is because of a war between humans and aliens. So the aliens used a robot army, and the humans responded with an android army. So most of the game, it's basically like these two proxy armies fighting for humans and aliens. But it's not really about any of that. It's about the robots developing human emotions and the androids trying to comprehend that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also there's these 2 dudes with no penis who are trying to blow up the world.
It's very disturbing. The lack of genitalia. They're just like Ken dolls with with Maximilian Pegasus hair.
Well, one has Maximilian Pegasus hair, and the other looks like a K-pop star. And that's all I can summarize and that's just Route A, by the way. More intrigue and twists and lore gets revealed each time you play the game. The game has about 8 different endings, and I think I only got 6 of them. Most of them are jokes, folks.
My favorite one is when you die in the intro, and you just get this sped up credits roll.
Yes, there's tons of credit sequence where it's just you walk down the wrong direction. It gives you a little narration about how you walking down that hallway, hey, ended the world, and then just fast forwards you through a bunch of credits to the title screen. Maybe
It's
one
so
of the most
epic.
fuck you game over screens I've ever gotten in my life.
Dre, don't play ZTD. If you want bullshit game over, there's one in that game that is just unbelievable.
The gameplay of it is simpler than most Platinum games. It's basically how a lot of Yoko Taro games, or at least Neir works. The first Neir and this is that a lot of it actually takes inspiration from bullet hells. So you have like a little pod that hovers over your shoulder that can shoot all these like tiny pellets, and all the enemies shoot tiny pellets at you, and you have to navigate through them while hacking and slashing.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's really fun. There's not much like combo potential. A lot of people said it's like a little too basic. I found it perfectly acceptable for it being like an action RPG. Each character has like a little spins on the normal combat. Like 2B is kind of the most standard. She has a light attack and a heavy attack, and then the shooting, and that's kind of all you do. 9S, he's a scanner like android. His whole thing is he's not meant for combat, so he mostly does hacking. So you have a light attack, and then you can hack into your robot enemies, and then that teleports you Undertale style into a little shoot 'em up section.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Okay, so it's only 9S who can do that.
Yes.
2B does that at certain story beats, but
Yeah.
it's not essential in the way that 9S is.
Okay.
And then A2, who is definitely to me the most fun character to play. She has light attacks and heavy attacks, but she also has a taunting mechanic. If you hold down the A button, you will taunt your enemies, and they will do double the damage to you. But in return, you also do double the damage to them, and it is so much fun. The risk and reward is very like rewarding, especially if she is also the only character to have a berserk mechanic, which also supercharges you, but also means you're losing health at a rapid rate at all times.
Yeah,
It's so epic.
This sounds a lot like a Dre character, just because if you've ever played Smash with this man, he taunts more than he attacks.
Yeah, it's I found some Automata is really odd. It's hard to describe why it's so good, because
sexy robots.
Shit. Well, there's my segment actually. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
so
thank
I'm going to
God.
start talking about manga now. Sorry, Dre.
Yeah, go on. Go on.
Go ahead, Ralph.
No, dude, it's fine.
I
Sexy robots. That is you're correct. I was thinking. I forgot.
It's hard to sum up why I like this game.
Play
Sexy robots.
Play Neir Automata.
It's actually
it has
true, though.
Sexy robots in it.
Yeah. Anyway, so if you like follow me on Twitter at all, you'd know that I read a ton of manga. It's kind of becoming a problem of mine.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so
dude, it's epic. Good content.
this is kind of a double recommendation. I'm cheating a little since one of these is completed and one of these I just started.
Okay.
So, about a month ago, I finished this sports manga called Touch. It's basically this 80s sports rom-com from this mangaka named Mitsuru Adachi. And it's really interesting because his entire style is trying to minimize the use of dialogue and basically just make it like almost like a silent comic, and it works really damn well. It's just, he has this command of his art that's really interesting, and especially for an early sports manga, he has a lot of really neat ideas. Like for Touch specifically, the main character, it's a baseball manga, right? The main character doesn't play baseball for half the manga. There's like 5 volumes where he's actually a boxer because he's like, I don't want to play baseball because that's what my brother, who's younger than me but better at baseball, does. So I'm gonna box. And like The first few volumes are like every chapter is like his brother doing something cool in baseball, and then like him completely eating shit boxing.
That's awesome.
And then like he actually gets genuinely good at it, and it's really fucking awesome. And you know, it's just this weirdly innovative manga that ultimately boils down to a rom-com where they play baseball because of stuff like that. So it was really interesting, and I just started one of his later works, one of his more recent ones actually, called Cross Game, which is about baseball from the beginning. But it's so far really neat because he really refined his style over like the 20 years from the early 80s to now.
Does he keep like the minimal dialogue thing? He still
does, which is in fact he does it even more than in Touch, where there's a lot of Touch chapters where it's like there's a good bit of dialogue, but it's all like one or two lines per each character kind of thing. And then in a Cross Game, it's more like there's entire pages where you might have, besides sound effects, like 2 or 3 words. And like the way he writes his dialogue and how it's translated by the translators, it's very like human feeling. You know?
That reminds me of the old Marvel Nuff Seds, where they did like completely wordless comics.
Yeah, his aren't completely wordless for the most part, but it is very like minimalist with its dialogue, which is hilarious because he's really fucking good at writing dialogue. And then, besides that, I've started Full Metal Alchemist because I finished Dragon Ball, which is great. You should read the Dragon Ball manga.
Do it.
It is fantastic. The Piccolo saga of Kid Goku Dragon Ball, all the way up to the you know, Cell Saga, peak Toriyama comics. He'll never be better than that. You know, it is worth it. And then even later on, a lot of people rag on some of the later arcs, but they're all damn solid. You know, it's just a good damn comic.
Yeah.
Read it. There, I did Carroll's job for him.
Thank you.
Anyway, so after that, I was like, I want to read another action comic, and I've never particularly watched or read anything from Full Metal Alchemist. So I just read Volume 1, and it kind of fucking owns. The author just has this really clean looking but like descriptive art style, and just the way pages are laid out and like stuff is set up is just really fucking fun to read. It's like a Saturday morning cartoon but rawer.
I love the Full Metal Alchemist art style. I love everyone's big fucking jaws.
Oh, it rules so much. Yeah. Everyone just looks like they're able to like eat an entire apple in one bite.
I had a great moment with Full Metal Alchemist very recently.
Yeah, I was gonna say this too. Do you mind if you can interject?
Oh yeah, go ahead. I'm done with my recommendations. Okay, read Touch, read Dragon Ball, read Full Metal Alchemist. There, 3 for 1.
Okay, so Jré and I, along with some friends, were over at my house and we were watching Full Metal Alchemist. And you know what? I will let Jré tell the story.
So Carroll had never seen Full Metal Alchemist before, so we were just watching Brotherhood, and we were watching some of the early episodes, and then Nina shows up.
Our friend Nina.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was talking about the character Nina.
Oh yeah.
And her pleasant little dog.
Oh boy. Dog. I'm kind of mad that I got spoiled over this.
Yeah.
Like, years ago, but whatever.
I sure didn't.
Yeah. So Carroll didn't know anything about this. So all the other people who were at that party like already knew what was going on. We were all like looking at each other, but Carroll didn't know. And Carroll was getting really attached to the dog. And so as he said, he go, "Oh, I love this dog. Oh, I love this dog. I want nothing bad to ever happen to this dog." And we're all looking at each other with the fucking best. It's pure delight on all our faces. And we're watching this. And then
it happens.
It happens.
The Chimera got me.
You know, if you don't know anything about Full Metal Alchemist, I won't elaborate. But
something happens to the dog.
Something happens to the dog. Something happens to the girl, and it's one of the most like iconic, like it might be the most iconic thing from Full Metal Alchemist.
It's definitely one of the biggest shit just got real moments.
Mm-hmm.
And The depressing part about it is the design of that dog, like the big poofy white dog, reminded me a lot of my childhood dog who died last year, who I really, really love and I really, really miss. And so I saw that and I'm like, oh, he looks like Sunny. I love this thing so much. And I was just like happy for a brief time.
Rough moments were coming.
Oh my God.
Full Metal Alchemist ain't interested in your happy times, dude. Look at this dog.
The thing is that I was so mad. I was so upset. Oh my God. Yeah, I won't say what it is, but it got me.
The Mao. I'm personally actually, because I've only ever seen the anime screenshots of it happening. I'm interested to see how the manga does it. Because I think I watched exactly one episode of Brotherhood because it was playing on Adult Swim at 10 o'clock at night sometime in like 2013.
That's the way people experience that.
Yep.
Dre, really, you can't be DMing me this picture.
So
evil. We're evil.
Oh God. Okay, my turn.
I believe it is.
I've been wavering on what to actually recommend here. But I'm gonna go with a movie I saw recently. So if you're following Dre Best on the Story Arc blog, you'll know what something that he's been doing is his wheel. Where everyone put a bunch of their favorite video games from the decade and are spinning the wheel, and he's spinning the wheel to see what game he plays next, and then he writes about it for the blog. A couple of our other friends have been adapting this idea, and I decided to take the idea and use it for my family, because when I'm watching movies, because like me and my family, we like to watch movies together, sometimes over dinner, just sometimes as like a just way to like bond. But we end up always spending like 2 hours trying to pick something on Netflix, and then it's past my dad's bedtime and he gets up and leaves. So it's like it takes like more time to pick a movie than it takes to watch a movie. And so I was like, let's fuck that. Everyone put down five movies that are their favorites or that you really want to see. I've noticed that my family actually really doesn't like to rewatch movies, which I think is kind of a shame. But they're like, okay, everyone pick like a movie that you want to see. Put 5 movies, and then we'll spin the wheel. And so the first movie that we spun is what I'm actually recommending this month, which is a movie that my sister picked out called Shoplifters. And it's a Japanese indie film about a family who lives in Japan under extreme poverty and needs to shoplift to survive, basically. It premiered at the Cannes Film Festival. I can't really pronounce Palme d'Or Award. It's
Palme d'Or, the Golden Palm.
Yeah, the Golden Palm. It won. That's the award it won at that at the Cannes Film Festival, and it won. It won a bunch of stuff. It was nominated at the Academy Awards. It didn't win, but it was nominated for Best Foreign Film. And it's very, very, very good. It kind of just starts off with this. It's like a really like hard kind of cold open. Where you meet this, where you're introduced to like this young boy and his father going into a market, like a grocery store kind of, and like all their subtle communications, like nonverbal communications on shoplifting and stealing stuff, and it's like really interesting. And like and the sort of relationship between the that boy and his father are sort of fleshed out throughout the movie. one of the biggest plot elements to it is that there's a when they're sort of going out and like coming home after a long day, the dad and his wife see this sort of girl out on this young girl that's sort of out on the porch, and you can hear like the family like screaming and fighting about and it appears to be a domestic abuse situation going on with the mother, and she's like saying like, I'm sorry I got pregnant, I didn't want to, and there's just this poor kid, and so what do these shoplifters do when they hear that? They shoplift the kid. They take the kid away because the family doesn't seem to be very fond of this child.
So they nap the kid.
They nap the kid.
They steal the kid.
They steal the kid.
They take him away.
Take her away.
Her away. I wish there was like a word for that.
Kidnapping.
What? That's a good one. Sorry
to blow your mind there. And so the kid, this like child from like this abusive home grows up in this like impoverished house with like with this this grandmother who's living off of the family sort of living and surviving off of the grandmother's dead husband's pension. Is how they're getting most of their income. The mother's sister does sex work on the side. The father has a construction job, but he gets injured, so that doesn't really go very well. And they shoplift for shit that they need, for food and stuff, just to keep their heads above water. And it's this sort of like economically dysfunctional family that this abused child enters and sort of experiences love for the first time. And things sort of there's a lot of like plot revelations about the characters and their relationships to one another that are explored throughout the movie. That things aren't as they appear right away with this family, is what I'll say. Like I say anything more than that, but it's very, very emotional, fascinating. Do definitely give it a watch because it's
I've been meaning to watch it, and now I just want to watch it even more.
Yeah, it's a very unique film. And so I would definitely tell you to check it out. Okay, that's it for me, and that's it for this episode of the Geeks by Gaslight Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Special thanks to our producers, Jré Best, Ronnie Diaz, and Scott Heemstra for making the show possible. Special thanks to our lead editor, Guthrie Schooner, and thank you to Jack Wertimer for helping us design the thumbnail. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to subscribe and leave a comment, follow us on Twitter, and join our Discord. The links will be down in the description below. And please be sure to keep it locked right here for brand new episodes of the Geeks by Gaslight Podcast every single goddamn month. But until then, wash your hands, nerds.
Please do.
Yeah. Seriously.